Meigs TV interview is supplied by Wholesale Supply Group. Visit us online at wholesalesupply.us.
One for Drive It Forward. Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland, home of the nationwide lifetime warranty.
3rd District U.S. Congressman Chuck Fleischmann joins us on the phone. Good morning, Congressman. How are you?
Steve, good morning, sir. It's great to be back in East Tennessee. I flew in last night, so I'm very, very thankful to be home, but really not under these circumstances, sir.
Yeah, it's quite a story. Of course, the entire nation talking about it for the first time in American history. We do not have a Speaker of the House. Just take us inside the chamber, if you will, Congressman Fleischmann, on what happened a couple of days ago when, Speaker McCarthy was kicked out of his job.
Certainly. Interestingly enough, I was on the floor because my bill, the Energy and Water bill for the Appropriations Committee, was actually on the floor. We have a two-tier process. Before we pass a bill, we have to pass a rule, and then we go into debate on the bill. Well, the rule actually had just passed, and we were beginning to take up my bill, the Energy and Water bill, which funds Chickamauga Lock, Oak Ridge, all the Department of Energy, and all those other good things. So I was prepared for about 8 to 10 hours debate on my bill. Well, lo and behold, the motion to vacate comes up. Now, what a motion to vacate is, under our new rules, and this is so important because people ask me, what happened with McCarthy? It was a matter of the rules. Kevin had agreed to allowing one member as opposed to 20 and a majority vote as opposed to a two-thirds vote to oust him as Speaker when he won the speakership. That was one of his concessions he made. Ultimately, that was sadly his undoing because one member did bring it, Mr. Getz, and every Democrat voted against him with 8 Republicans, so he lost by 4 votes in the ultimate vote. The real sadness after that came when we went into conference at about 6:45. I remember it vividly because we had pizza. We the pizza. We're sitting there eating our pizza, and Kevin comes out and says, "I'm out. I'm done. I'm not going to run for Speaker. Don't renominate me. Pick somebody new." And that's where we are right now, sir.
All right, we're joined by our district, 3rd District Congressman Chuck Fleischmann, as he said, back in Tennessee, because a decision made following the ouster of Kevin McCarthy to recess for a week, and now it seems, or till Tuesday, now it seems like we have apparently 2 confirmed candidates for Speaker. One of them, Steve Scalise of Louisiana, who, as everyone knows, probably was shot in a baseball game where you were very close to that. I remember you calling us that morning when it happened.
Yes, sir.
And then also Congressman Jim Jordan, the other declared candidate from Ohio. And so question, Congressman, who are you supporting out of these confirmed candidates?
Sure, and I'll be glad to address that. Let me address one other thing you said. Everything you've said is perfect and right on. The reason we had to recess is the Speaker Pro Tem, McHenry from North Carolina, is only presiding for the purpose of getting a new speaker. So all legislative work, that bill that I alluded to, has stopped. I could not be moving forward on my bill if I were there without a Speaker of the House. No member can do any legislative business. Now, if it had been me, I would have launched into elections right away because we're losing a week till next Tuesday at that time of week of that 45 days that we voted to have a deal on our appropriation bills going forward with the Senate. That cuts into that time. So we get that time back. We don't get that time back, but we get that time off in the district. So that's where we are. When we go back next Tuesday, we're going to have candidate speeches. Next Wednesday, elect a speaker. Hopefully next Thursday, my bill will be on the floor. Having said that, I'm going to be supporting Steve Scalise. I think the world of Jim Jordan. But as you alluded to, I've known Steve Scalise since I've been in the House. We are close friends. We have played sports together. I was with him on the fateful day of the baseball shooting. He got hit. Thank God I did not. Other people did, in fact, get hit. It was a terrible day. But I've worked with him. He was my original whip leader that worked hard to get me on the Appropriations Committee. I was with him the other day on the floor, literally, when my bill, the energy and water bill, was ready to go, and he said, "Chuck, we're going to get your bill passed." So we're just closer. We work together, but I can't say enough good about Jim Jordan or the other candidates who may come out of this. Steve, I want you to know that there are other names still being floated out there, all of whom are very, very fine men and women in the House, good Republicans, unifying Republicans. Like myself, who voted for Speaker McCarthy and who will vote to keep the government open and the legislative branch working. And I never want to be down as voting with all Democrats in the House. I'll tell you that much, and I'll leave it at that.
We're joined by Congressman. Congressman. We're joined by Congressman Fleischmann. Here's the question, and it's a hard question, but this is being put forward about Steve Scalise. Look. He is battling. He's been very public about this. He's battling battling cancer right now, and there are some people who are asking, well, number one, is he up to it? Is he up to doing this? He has said he's in treatment. He says he is up to it, and we know that. Do you feel? I mean, does that give you any pause whatsoever that physically, that even mentally, that he would be up to being the Speaker of the House?
I work with leadership every day, so the answer is no. I work with Steve. I socialize with Steve. He's very active in all of my pro-nuclear activities. He will show up and speak at those. So I have no hesitation whatsoever. And I will tell you this. If there was any chance that he did not feel up to it, Steve Scalise would not move forward and take this position at this point in time. I know him that well. And there's also going to be contested races for majority leader and for whip. But the other reason for Steve Scalise, he knows how to do the job day one. We've got to do an awful lot right now. We've got to get unity back in our party and on the floor, beat back the radical Democrats' radical left-wing agenda. Again, every Democrat in the House voted to oust McCarthy. I thought that was an outrage. What the Dems do, they are a very disciplined lot, but unfortunately, they're a wrong lot, and they're wrong 99 times out of 100. I've seen it. But when they come together, whether they dislike each other or not, when they get an agenda, they stay together. We Republicans do not. We fracture, we fight, we argue. I've seen it. It's time to stop the arguing and getting a good, solid, conservative, pro-American, pro-God agenda for the people of this country and getting it passed.
Joined by Congressman Chuck Fleischmann, 3rd District, of course, our district here. Do you have any idea where the votes are right now for Speaker, as far as between the candidates here, Scalise, Jim Jordan? Any idea?
Yes, sir. I will say this. Both candidates have a substantial amount of supporters. That's why other candidates may still come forward, and I can't stress that enough. We have to get to 218. We have 221 in our conference, okay? So it's going to take someone who is akin to almost a miracle worker to get to that magic 218. I don't want to see another 15 rounds like we did with McCarthy.
I was just thinking
that. All 15 rounds. Yes. Yes, sir. Yep.
I'm sorry. I was just thinking that I was thinking about January when it was 15 rounds, you say?
15 rounds. Yeah. And I was on the floor for all those 15 rounds. And I don't mind telling you, I was the one that went up to Matt Gaetz at the end at 15, and I get along with everybody, okay? All of my brothers and sisters on the House floor. I don't condemn people. I work to bring people together. I'm a unifier. I'm always praying for everybody. And I went up to Matt and I said, Matt, please cast your vote for Kevin McCarthy. And He had been through a lot on the floor. He did not want to do it, and he ended up actually at that point in time being the deciding vote because somebody else who had promised to vote for McCarthy in that round voted present instead of voted for him. So that was a very, very tumultuous time. We don't need this as a Republican conference again. So I think we're going to get to a place where we can pick someone. An idea I had is basically let Scalise take the Speaker's place and put Jim Jordan as majority leader. Let them both win, okay? Now, I realize that other people, Steve, want that majority leader spot, and I respect that. They're friends of mine. But at a time like this, we need strength, we need unity, but we need a person day one who can go to the floor and look at people like me and say, Fleischmann, proceed on your bill, get it done, and we will get it done.
And we're going to have to leave that part of our interview there. We're joined by Congressman Chuck Fleischmann. I do want to bring up, though, something you've been heavily involved in, and that is the purchase of over 200 acres in Meigs County. Would you call it, Congressman, an additional national cemetery? I know the purchase.
Yes.
Is that right? Go ahead.
That is correct. Chattanooga is filling up. We've known that for years. It's a beautiful place. My father, my uncle, my father-in-law are all interred there, but it's filling up. And I will tell you this, and you know I'm probably one of the most staunch Republican people in the House. Secretary McDonough worked with me hand in hand, Biden's Secretary of Veterans Affairs, for over a year. He and Matt Quinn sat in my office. This almost went away, Steve, and they worked with me hand in hand. And I've always had an open door policy, whether it's with Obama, Trump, or Biden's cabinet people. They come and they see me. We talk because I'm an appropriator. We worked that out like gentlemen. They were men of their word and honor, as was I. We got it done, but thank God we got that cemetery in East Tennessee. It didn't go to Georgia. It didn't go to Alabama. I love our folks in our other states, but that will be a Tennessee-based national cemetery. Thank you, sir.
You mean there was bipartisan cooperation in Washington, Congressman Fleischmann, and then something good happened like it used to? Oh, come on.
Well, I will tell you this: I have kept an open door.
Oh my goodness!
And, again, but
Jesus must be coming.
Well, we focused on the right thing to do.
That's right,
and that's taking care of our veterans.
That's right.
Our veterans and their spouses, who I love dearly, need to have a beautiful cemetery. Steve, when you see this place, it is going to be probably, from a picturesque standpoint, the most beautiful national cemetery in the country. And I will say this: I thank my dear friend Greg Vidal, who many of you all know. He owns Morning Point. He also happens to be a state rep. He was the one who actually had the property. So, and his patience, he deserves to be lauded for his patience, because he could have walked away when the VA made its mistakes. But the secretary fixed it with General Quinn and myself. We got it done. God bless all the veterans.
Well, Congressman, I will make you this promise right now. We will be there when you open it. When that is open, we'll be there. How about that?
There you go.
We'll
thank you, Steve. It's always a pleasure.
All right.
And thank you for all you do on the radio. And I'm so proud of the way you cover your sports and everything else. But I love the people of Bradley County. I know you do, and I wish you the best. And I'll come on anytime you wish, sir. All
right, Congressman Chuck Fleischmann, 3rd District United States Congressman, with a peek inside of what happened with the speakership being vacated. First time in American history. All right, Congressman, we'll talk with you soon. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Steve.
Yes, sir. All right, we're going to move on right here. Let's get a news update, and then maybe, Bridget, an update. Any updates on the crash at George